Beginner Guide to Sewing, Grain Lines. Before we begin, let's talk about two different types of fabrics. Fabrics are generally classified into knits and wovens. Knits tend to have stretch in all directions, but not always, while wovens will only stretch along the bias, which is a 45-degree angle to the woven yarns. You can unweave most woven fabrics and find the yarns. They're woven in two directions generally. You have your cross grain and your straight of grain. The straight of grain follows the woven edge or selvage. This is the most commonly used grain line when we are making garments. It's important that we know what this is because if we cut our fabric off grain or not on the straight of grain, it does not hang or cooperate in the correct manner and looks unprofessional and twists on the body. The cross grain is the second option. I only ever really use this when I'm working with a fabric that has a specific print or style that I need to use the cross grain for. Third option is the bias grain. This allows for stretch. The true bias or bias grain is on a 45-degree angle to our woven selvage edge. This stretches very differently than our spandex knits. It tends to cling and shape to the figure in a very elegant way, but is very difficult to work with for beginners, so I recommend trying this out a little later. You may be thinking, what's a selvage? Well, that's the woven edge of most textiles. It can come with a little fringe or without, but it doesn't fray when you pull on it. The selvage edge is important because this is our straight of grain and the most reliable grain you'll see in woven textiles. When placing patterns down, we have to make sure that our grain line and selvage are perfectly parallel, meaning an even distance apart. Measure and pin the first side, and then measure and pin the second side, making sure there's an even distance between the grain line and selvage. Always pin, making sure your paper is smooth and flat and not rumpling up, and always pin to fabric that has already been ironed and is flat. Check a second time, measure twice, cut once.